Hello everyone, this is Jerry from Kill the Cast. I just wanted to go over my current top 13 favorite movies of all time. The list, it can change, but right now these are my top 13 favorites. So I figured I'd share them, and in the comments, tell me what your top 13 favorites are. So without further ado, number 13, Tenebra, my favorite Dario Argento film. This film has a great storyline and is always in your face. And I really can't say enough good about it. This is the Arrow release, and I highly recommend you check it out. Probably my favorite Giallo film. Next up, Adam Green's Digging Up the Marrow. I absolutely love this movie. It really does make me feel like Adam does in the movie, where he gets so excited about monsters being real, because as a kid, I've always wanted monsters to be real. And you'll kind of notice that going through my top 13 movies, there's a lot of monsters. Speaking of monsters, number 11. Is Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, specifically Frankenstein. I don't have a single release of this because all my Blu-ray copies are from the Universal Monsters collection, so I have figured why not bring out my Laserdisc collection of Abbott and Costello Meet the Monsters, but specifically Frankenstein, that is my favorite. Now let's go into number 10. Number 10 is my favorite werewolf movie of all time, and that's Stephen King's Silver Bullet. Man, I love this movie. I saw it as a kid and it scared the living hell out of me. I thought there were werewolves outside my window the entire night. What do you think, Cass? Do you agree? You don't care because you're in your box. All right. Next up, number 9. My favorite slasher film of all time, Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. It is not only my favorite Jason movie, it's part of my favorite slasher franchise, but I think it has a wonderful story that is innovative the whole time, and it gives us a fantastic character of Tommy Jarvis. Next up, number 7. My favorite Universal monster movie, classic monster movie, Creature from the Black Lagoon. This is one of the most beautiful black and white movies I have ever seen. If you have the Blu-rays, oh man, they are just absolutely stunning, and I absolutely adore this movie. Next up, my favorite Vincent Price movie, House of Wax. This is a remake, and it had a remake on top of that. This is a great Vincent Price movie. You really should see it because the twist ending is absolutely fantastic. Next up, speaking of more monsters, The Monster Squad. As a kid growing up, loving Universal Monsters, watching any monster movie and creature feature I could get my hand on, and being a Stephen King fan, this was absolutely perfect. This movie was made for someone like me, and to this day it still holds up, and that's why it's on my top list. Next up, Ashiro Honda's Matang Go. Now, this is one of the movies that probably a lot of you have not seen, but if you like movies based on paranoia, then you need to see this movie. Think of a paranoid version of Gilligan's Island. No humor and all paranoia. And we'll see another paranoia movie and another Ishiro Honda movie coming up. Now, at number 4, The Black Cat. This is my favorite Universal Studios movie, especially out of the classic collections. Stars Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi, and my favorite roles by both of them. And it's way ahead of its time, and you really should see it, especially because Satan. Now, top 3 by Ishiro Honda. We have Gojira from 1954. The original Godzilla movie is one of my all-time favorite movies. I am a huge Godzilla fan, and there's just nothing that quite meets the impact of the original Gojira movie. Number 2, from my favorite director of all time, John Carpenter's The Thing. I love this movie so much. I own this Blu-ray of it that I've never even opened because I also have the Steel Case by Arrow, and I have the Scream Factory release. It is the greatest example of paranoia meets monsters meets just all-around amazingness of Kurt Russell. I adore this movie. I can't say enough nice things about it. But the only movie I can talk even better about is Steven Spielberg's Jaws. This is a perfect film for me, and it has been my favorite movie since I first saw it at 4 years old. Thank you, grandfather, for showing me this one. It is and will always be my favorite movie. I'm glad I've got to see it in theaters. This Blu-ray is amazing, has tons of special features, and is one of the best looking versions you can ever watch of this movie. So that's it. Those are my favorite movies of all time. Let me know what your 13 top favorites are. Thank you for watching. Check us out on YouTube, which you're already on, but Facebook, we've got a Facebook group, we've got Twitter, we've got a podcast that I really hope you're checking out. And check us out on Patreon if you really love us. With that being said, I am out. Thank you guys for listening. And one more time, Cass, do you want to say goodbye? Yes. Goodbye, pathetic viewers. That wasn't very nice. You're not very nice. Either way, later, guys.